This tutorial is going to cover basic recording in Audacity. The minute you open up the program, you're ready to record your first audio tracks. If you look to the top left-hand corner, you'll notice that it's got an 80s tape deck feel to it. We've got our pause, play, stop, rewind, fast forward, and record. So I'm going to hit record right away, and you'll notice that an oscilloscope feature comes up to show that, one, you are recording, and two, it kind of tells you the level. So if you're talking too loud, you'll notice the oscilloscope really bounces up. And right now I'm going to hit pause. That's going to pause my track right here. Now you'll notice that the meter's still picking up my voice, but nothing's being recorded. When you hit pause, it's going to stop it right on audio track 1. So if I hit unpause, then the recording will continue from where I left off. This time I'm going to hit stop. Now, once you hit stop, I always like to check, so I'll rewind my recording and I'll press play to check. And you'll notice that an oscilloscope feature comes up to show that, one, you are recording, and playback is good. Now, if you don't like the volume of your playback right away, you are able to adjust the volume, and you can change lower decibels or higher decibels depending on how loud you want something. If you don't like the track, there's two ways to instantly change it. You can either go to our favorite undo button, or you could just delete this track by hitting the X. Now, the nice thing about Audacity is when you record something, we don't like to always talk in one breath, so you can take short breaks in between by pausing and stopping. But what's going to happen now is you have two ways to move on from here. If you want one continuous track where you may just have one student making a podcast, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take your cursor and you're going to click at the end of audio track 1. Then when you do the next recording, it's going to come up as a separate audio track, but that audio track is going to start where your first track left off. And then you can just record it like you would any other track. I'm going to hit stop. And then I'll go click up top. You'll notice wherever I click, that's where the cursor goes. And I'll press play from there. This time I'm going to hit stop. But that audio track is going... And so it kind of gives a one-track feel to the entire program. Now, if I didn't do that, I'm going to show you what would happen if I just recorded my tracks normally. Once I record this track, if I hit record again, you're going to hear it overlay with my next track. So you're going to hear me speaking while I'm trying to speak. So you can see the two tracks overlap each other, which does have a nice feature to that if you're doing podcasting with two other people. So if I did new recordings, and let's say I recorded one thing, but then I left a pause and started talking again, all of a sudden you can kind of see like a two-way track forming, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to record another track. I'm going to let that track talk to me while I listen to it and then add something else down below. And let's say I recorded one thing, but then I left a pause. Then the other student can start talking here and started talking again. And then when I go back and play my track, and let's say I recorded one thing, but then I left a pause, then the other student can start talking here and started talking again. So you can see how now I've taken two tracks and have kind of made more of a conversation between the two tracks. So this would work out great if you had two students recording something at the same time. Now that you've learned the basics of using the recording tools, it's a good time to save, like anything on the computer. So you should go to File, and you're going to save the project. Now remember, this just saves it as an Audacity project file. It's not an MP3 yet. So when you save it, name it whatever you'd like, and you'll save your project. This way, if you do something by accident, you can always go to the last backed up copy. Now, even though we haven't done any editing to this, if you do want to save it as an MP3, you go to File, and now we're going to export it instead of save the project. Once you export it, you can put it where you would like in your music folder or wherever you want. And a little media tag comes up where you can edit the artist name, track number, just like a real album, which might be handy if you have multiple students doing podcasts. Click OK. And now this is going to be saved as I recorded one thing, but then I go into my music library. And now you have your Audacity project saved as an MP3. And it'll open up whatever media player you have. Make sure you go to the next tutorial on editing and snipping, where we'll show you how to delete dead space, you can add effects, and really make your Audacity project look really professional.